Good morning, good morning, good morning. Assalamu alaikum, son.
Walaikum salam, pops. What's going on?
Nothing much, son. Nothing much. Just here. At Tags, Healthy Wellness. You know what I mean?
Word.
Serving that good nutrition. Doing
Yes,
what I
sir.
do
Yes,
every
sir.
day.
All
Good
right. So
morning,
let's
world.
introduce the show.
I'm Pop
Welcome,
Trey.
world.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
Sun Trey.
And we are Two
And
Trays.
yes, sir. TwoTreys Podcast.
Yes, sir. Good to
Yes,
see you,
sir.
son. Good to see you, man. Yeah, yeah,
Got a
yeah,
little
yeah,
pause.
yeah.
give us our roses right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All
Well,
right.
first thing and foremost,
Yes, sir.
gotta put this out there to the world to let them know that what this purpose is, that we came together as father and son to create this platform. This channel is to inspire and bridge the gap between youth and elders, fathers and sons, perspectives of truth versus falsehood, and to reflect love and peace with the black male/black community.
Word.
With that being
That
said,
sounds beautiful to me.
yes, sir. All praises due to Allah. So first thing and foremost, man, let's how's your day going, son?
It's going well, pops.
Uh,
Beautiful February morning. First of
First day of
February,
February,
starting the day.
man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Years
January,
going by as quick already, man.
you know what I
January's
mean?
already behind us.
Second month of the year. You know. We're gonna run into 2/22/22.
Word.
Yeah. You ain't
That's
think
what
about
that
that.
tomorrow? Nah, I didn't think
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
We
yeah.
we're gonna have a 2/22,
Two trays.
22, and then the two tomorrow's gonna be the second, so it's gonna be
Right.
2/2/22. That's crazy.
So that's twice. There's gonna be 2/2/2/2/2/2.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Remember when the text I had sent you and your brothers and sisters
Word
about the
about
twos?
the twos. Yeah, we got 2 viewers right now. two
Appreciate you,
trays.
views.
2 trays. There's two of us.
Well, we'll break
There's
that
two of
down.
them.
I'll break that down later on. Maybe on another episode. But
Word.
so son, man. So there's a hot topic going on right now, man. It's something in which I think the title kind of addressed it. And you want to go ahead and give that question to the world?
Yes. So this is episode 2, and the question that we have today is: when is taking life acceptable? When is taking a life acceptable?
Mm. Acceptable
Um.
to, let's just say, God or whoever your high power, or
So let's say, well, on the basis of the subject, because I think we're gonna focus on a specific topic, actual story.
okay,
Well, I mean, we can discuss the man's law, and we can discuss the God's law about it.
okay.
Um, so yeah, I guess we can just get straight into the video that we have pulled up. I don't know if people have heard about it, but in Texas, there were these two. I think you said stepbrothers, right?
No, I think they were blood brothers,
They were
and
blood brothers,
right, and their
right?
stepfather
Uh huh.
had was found, or they was led or alleged that he molested their younger sister.
Correct. So
So
what did the two brothers decide to do?
these particular brothers decided, I'm not all uh, factual, so let me just put that out there as well. But it's alleged that they robbed the stepfather, um, may have tortured him, but beat him to death. And that's all I know. So if there's a article which you could pull up,
Yeah,
and
so we have it right here. I'll pull up the news clip that they have of it.
all right, cool, that's what's up.
Just give me a second to pull that up.
All right.
That is an interesting question. When is killing someone acceptable? We'll just play this real quick. Can you see me?
I see you. Yes, sir.
Do you see the news clip?
It's not on, and yes.
Where I'll go ahead and play it.
All right.
To an online petition out of South Texas gaining traction tonight, calling for the release of 3 teenagers recently arrested for killing a man accused of sexually abusing his stepdaughter, their sister. Investigators saw Alejandro and his brother Christian found out about their stepfather's and
Wow, so I just want to pause real quick. Like you said, there's 3. I thought it was 2.
3, right? Yeah.
Word. All right, so let's get back into this. 3. That was actually 3 brothers that killed the stepfather.
Hey, there's 3 of you. Like, I have 3 sons, so I'm feeling
watch out.
way over you know, go ahead and play it. My fault.
Word.
I see it buffering.
asked their friend Juan.
It went out, son.
Just give it a minute. Yeah, I see.
Yeah. I'm glad we don't have none of that crazy noise in the background.
Chased down Gabriel Quintanilla,
Yeah,
and they beat him to death. Quintanilla was later found dead in a field with blunt force trauma to his head, and the 3 teenagers are now in custody and they face charges in his death. There is a petition now asking Governor Greg Abbott to release these teenagers, saying that they were protecting their sister. It has more than 290,000 signatures as of tonight and growing.
290,000.
Rachel is a criminal defense attorney based out of Los Angeles. I'd like to talk more about this case.
290,000 people signed a petition.
Okay.
So it sounds like, you know what I'm saying, 290,000 people. That's a lot of people. So that's a good topic. So it sounds like, you know what I'm saying, people, you know what I'm saying, may not, I don't know what their stance is on how they feel about what they did, but they apparently don't believe they should be doing time. How do you feel about it, Pops?
Well, I say you can't go wrong when you research or reference either the Bible or the Holy Quran. And based off of my understanding, and I'm not going to misquote anything, so I'm going to actually read word for word from the Holy Quran when it pertains to taking life. Okay? So there won't be anything confused. I'm not making anything up. All right? So where I'm going to go first is chapter 5, verse 32. And this chapter is called The Food. And it says this: For this reason, we prescribe for the children of Israel that whoever kills a person, unless it be for manslaughter or for mischief in the land, it is as though he had killed all men. And whoever saves a life, it is as though he had saved the lives of all men. And certainly our messengers came to them with clear arguments, but even after that, many of them commit excesses in the land. The only punishment of those who wage war against Allah and his messenger and strive to make mischief in the land is that they should be murdered or crucified, or their hands and their feet should be cut off on opposite sides. This shall be this shall be a disgrace for them in this world, and in the hereafter they shall have a grievous chastisement. So that was chapter 5, verses 32 and 33.
Or I just want to make a clear correction real quick. Our boy Nick wanted to clarify about the situation. It's 2 blood brothers and then 1 friend.
And 1 friend. Okay. All
right. And then I went ahead and posted his comment on the screen. So yeah,
shout out
go
to
ahead
Nick.
and pop. Word, shout out to Nick, man. Appreciate you, brother.
There it is. My interpretation is that when there is misjustice or some sort of mischief making in the land, then the punishment is death or cutting off the feet or the hands. Now, I know we are not in that day and time and era. However, I believe there's a legal term, and I might be mistaken, son. If you want to, fact check me, we don't want to put anything false out there. But there is, I believe, a legal reason. Maybe it's something called the heat of the passion, or heat of the moment. For example, a husband or a wife come home and catches their significant other in bed with another whoever, right? Now that
Right.
individual,
Correct.
in the heat of passion, everybody can relate to what if that was you moment. And if that person in that event, that person kills or, assaults or commits any type of physical harm to the individual, the significant other, or the individual that they're involved with in the bedroom, whatever, that it's justified. I may be wrong, son. If you want to fact check that.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's justified, but it does lower the degree. It says here that if you can prove that the case was a case of heat of passion, it says
Heat of passion,
that
right.
it is it's a manslaughter.
All right, so do me one favor.
Yeah, it's in comparison to first degree, second degree murder.
All right, so what is manslaughter? What's the definition of legal terms manslaughter? Just so we all have, an understanding of before we go any further. Because manslaughter is in the Quran as well.
The crime of killing a human being without malice, forethought, otherwise in circumstances not amounting to murder.
Okay. So it's something done pretty much like on the spur of the moment. It's not something that was premeditated, meaning that,
Correct.
I'm sitting here right now contemplating how I'm going to kill so-and-so tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Okay. So that would fit in this description in the Quran, where Allah says, for this reason, we prescribe for the children of Israel that whoever kills a person, unless it be for manslaughter. So if it's not for manslaughter, then it will be for premeditated murder, which Allah does not look at in the eyes as being justified. Is that fair?
That's fair. I mean, so it's an interesting case. I say that.
And well, let me just personalize it, because remember, I have three sons. Yourself being the oldest, Damon and Zaire. Shout out to them. Love you, sons. And you have sisters, Trishay and Aaliyah. Shout out to them. You gentlemen, you and your brother and your sister did have a stepfather in the house, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, me as the father, if that situation would have happened, I, as a parent, as a father, I have to be real. I would be proud that you guys took it upon yourself to to bring justice to your sister. Like I always told y'all, protect her. If I ain't there, you're the father. Okay.
Word. I'm gonna come out with some little devil advocacy, because
okay.
I think I think is worthy of that.
Right.
What proper justice for them to take it into their own hands? So,
say again.
Because I said was the proper justice for them to take it into their own hands and then take it a step further into killing him. Because a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, we'll see that that's what we have. That's why we have laws to protect the victims. Always to protect the victims, but in a sense, our laws are also supposed to protect the accused. And this stepfather, the crime is heinous. Don't get me wrong, but does that justify him not deserving a day in court?
And that comes into, that's the difference in my eyes of the law of God, Allah, and the law of man. Now, specifically, these children were not plotting, or if they knew ahead of time that this gentleman was doing this to their sister, and they knew ahead of time and didn't respond or react to it in a spontaneous way, they plotted this. If they did capture him and torture him and plan everything out,
All right,
then yes, I would have to say that has to be justified. That has to be, there has to be some consequences applied. You know what I mean? I want to give them, the harshest punishment. However, it was premeditated, also mixed it in with the whole, spontaneous emotional response. And then immediately after, we spoke about it. You know what I'm saying? In that conversation of talking about what you are going, what one person decided to do, because it had to be one person, one thought before it became the two and the three, right?
Right.
So if I came up with the thought to torture this man, rob him, and plan all this out because he did something wrong to, your sister, my sister, somebody should say, well, how about we just call the police? You know what I mean? Or how about we, but I had to convince you. I had to make the emotional, thought process transfer into you, into the other person, and that we all feel angry, upset, and hurt, and we want to find revenge in doing this. That is when it's in the wrong, in far as trying to pay back somebody that did your loved one wrong. Now, if it was, oh my God, he did what? And then we shot off at once and did what we did, all in the act of the moment of finding out, I would say that would be okay. I would say that would be the justification.
So I think we can both agree when it comes to God's law, and then how it will affect their consciousness.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, you know what I'm saying? Are they going to feel guilty about it? I think we both can agree if this situation actually took place, no. I would, you know what I'm saying? I would stand on them in the fact that there's no guilty consciousness of our actions in regards to the circumstances of the situation.
What would you do?
I do the same thing. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
okay.
I agree.
Because
I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
If it wasn't going to be you and your brothers, it was going to be me. I would kill
Word. That's not up for question. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
I'm not above that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not above that at all.
Okay.
But in saying that's the one law, that the law of God, and how does that affect let's say that's God's law / how people socially see it, because how we see with people, there's 250,000 signed signatures towards the petition of their arrest.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying, me and you and those three that were involved and those 250,000 people, you know what I'm saying, thought that their actions were their action to the situation was correct. But again, back to this was justice served.
Well, then, again,
was it justice?
Right. And that's why I said it's a difference between Allah's justice and man's justice. You know what I mean? Now, we know man's justice is and would say that, like they already did, we're going to have to charge these three young men for what they did. Now it falls in the manner of their peers, right? When they go to trial,
right?
Will 12 people or 13, however many the jury would be, how many of them would side in the favor of these three young men because they can understand the moment? You know what I mean? They can understand the feeling that they would have had if they discovered that, allegedly their stepdad, who they probably didn't even like from the jump street. You know what I mean? And they just needed a reason to put hands on them or hurt them in some sort of way. So what more of a justification, an excuse, or a reason to do so than this? Now again,
Word.
I said.
Now let me throw this at you. This is man's law here. So in man's law,
right.
All right. So let's say the best case scenario was they called the cops. The cops, got all the evidence they needed to say that what they saw was true. The stepfather was partaking in child molestation. Now let's see, look at the years that you get for the charge of child molestation. You get 6 years of prison, max. So let's talk about that. Is that a just? Do you think that's a just amount of time?
No, not at all. 6 years.
6 years.
No.
6 years.
No.
6 years, $5,000, and then you get registered as a sex offender.
Nah, I say anything of that nature or magnitude it's double digits, man. You know what I mean? It's double digits.
So I think it's in how different our law, our government's law on this situation and how people actually feel about it are so different, because usually the law is supposed to reflect how the people feel about the charge, right? So 250,000 people say, if I'm assuming, I'm going off of something, if this was to go into court, they would feel like, if this guy was given the death penalty or sentenced to life, they would not be against that.
Right.
Honestly, I wouldn't be against that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think it's so funny how the spectrum is different, because our you know what I'm saying, we feel like death or a death sentence is just for a case like this when it comes to the father molesting the child.
Right.
But it's funny how our law doesn't reflect that. Our law only gives you a max of 6 years.
Right. And not only that, but the punishment, in this sense, 6 years as being the punishment / consequence. Right. It doesn't even fit, because that person gets to go into a confines underneath a roof, whether it's a jail cell or house. It's still a roof in the confines of something covering it that's going to hold it and maintain its warmth when it's cold outside, and be fed. Who's feeding them? The people. With the tax dollars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus that individual face to do justice in the passion and moment of the victims. This is how I feel. If something happened, if I do something, if somebody did anything to you or your brothers and sisters, I should have, me, being the creator or the person that gave you life, should have the option of said punishment. You can't. I helped create this life or bring this life into existence with the help of Allah. But it was my seed. Somebody took it upon themselves to take my seed off of this planet. I should have the option or choice of punishment. You understand? To me, that's justice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Have the victim's family decide. And if you can plead and ask for forgiveness from that family, if that individual, that aggressive one, atones and is apologetic and is showing remorse, honest remorse, genuine remorse, then it's up to that family to say, we forgive. We can forgive. You know what I mean? I truly believe that is, in my eyes, that would be justice properly.
I think that'd be a good idea. At least for the family to be able to present, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? The court doesn't have to, like saying, like, let's say the family's like, oh, we want death.
Right.
The court should still have the power to be like, nah, he doesn't deserve to die, but we'll give him 50 years. Something like that. So, you know what I'm saying? At least have the family being able to negotiate, have a seat at the table of the negotiations. Because at the end of the day, they were the ones that were affected.
Exactly.
Right.
And you taking the choice or the option away from the parents of that victim. You know what I mean? The family, the loved one, the people who love them. You know what I'm saying? It's like you taking, a lot of times, we say we're not supposed to take revenge on those who inflict pain on us, right?
Right.
But we all know that there's such thing as karma. You know what I mean? What comes around goes around. You know, what you put out there, it comes back on you. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, when we put stuff out there, it could come back and, kick us in the butt. Or skip you and affect your children down the line, So a lot of times we have to think about that. You know what I mean? There's always going to be a consequence to our actions. You know what I mean? Now, what is on our heart and in our intentions, I would say, based off of these young gentlemen' heart, their intentions was only sparked because of the act of somebody else who had evil on their mind. You know what I mean? And they responded in that way because of, one, immaturity runs in that place as well, because they were underage, right? Teenagers.
Yeah, all teenagers. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you had to put that or take that in consideration. There may have not been an adult, that they went to first. But it's what you think, man?
I think it's interesting because I actually feel for them, because the taking of a life,
right?
Where the taking of a life, I'm saying, even in this case, it. Right. It's a level in which like it's a slippery slope, and I think they touch on it a lot in I'm saying movies we watch where the hero goes to the dark night of the soul, right? And may come across, like, let's say Batman, for example, he comes across a Joker archetype where I'm saying this person, this character keeps giving you reasons to where it would be justified to kill them. No one, you know what I'm saying? And yet Batman has that code where he's like, nah, don't do it. But Batman, this is the stance of Robin, right? But Batman, he killed like 1 million people. We got him right here. Let's murk this dude right now.
Right.
And Batman always has to be the one to check him. You're like, nah, we can't. Like, I understand. I understand he's evil. He's the worst of the worst.
Right.
But that what killing does to you, you know what I'm saying? It changes you. Any action, right? Any action that is negative in response to negativity doesn't open up growth for that person that was afflicted by the initial negativity, right? So like, let's say you do something wrong to me, like you punch me in the face. I have a choice. I can punch you back, or walk away, or tell you not to punch me.
Right.
And so those types of choices may sound small, but they tend to compound on top of themselves. So you know what I'm saying? Like, you kill somebody.
You want to lift off?
You kill somebody, now you've opened up the door to being likely to killing somebody again.
Well, that's where the reason comes into play. Like these young men were faced with a traumatic situation. You know what I mean?
Do you think it has to do with their level of maturity based on their actions?
I can't even say it has based off of that, because I'm 42 years old. So, and I, are in favor of what they did. That's only if it was done without premeditation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't say, I don't think that it's okay.
Yeah, let's just go. Let's just go with that. Let's go with the narrative. It wasn't premeditated. You know what I'm saying? They probably walked in on something that. Let's say that. Even still, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna throw it out there just for the sake of the debate.
Right.
And you spoke on it a little bit. It's like, yo, there's three of y'all. There should have been someone that had the mindset of, yo, like, I understand, like, this is terrible what he's done.
Right.
However, there's a better way to go about getting the justice that we want.
That's true.
But unfortunately, I'm looking at it like, yo, like, let's say I threw out the hypothetical earlier. It's like, yo, let's say he gets accused, whatever. That's only 6 years.
Exactly. So is that due justice? Does the crime punishment fit the crime? And then, to me, I don't think so. No, sir.
All right. So what's gonna happen with these three teenagers, these three kids?
Well, they will have to have their day in court.
What are they getting charged with? They're gonna have their day in court. Where?
You know what I mean? Well, that depends. Like I said, like, there's obviously a difference between manslaughter and premeditated murder. Until we know all the facts, you know what I mean, and till all the facts come in, you know what I mean, now we can, determine or predetermine what's going to happen or what could possibly happen based off the facts. I just gave a simple, difference or contrast between the manslaughter and the premeditated and where I stand in that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, I don't think my thought process is too far off on justice, that's spiritually guarded and guided versus common sense as well, and man's justice, because we all know we don't live in our own society or thought process of what Allah intends. So, to me, that's a big contrast. Now, did they learn about it, think about it, slept on it, then woke up, yo, we're gonna do it, you know what I mean? Now that's a little too, you know what I mean? Like, you had time to really swallow this pill and,
I don't think that's the case. We got what, three teenagers,
Yeah, but sure, unless they all found out at once, you know what I mean? That's what I said, it's how they found out, that they all found out at one time, and the friend just happened to be hanging out with them, you know what I mean? And it popped up that the sister, so you never know, you know what I mean?
Right.
But for the friend to join on, I don't think they called him and said, yo, you know what so-and-so did to our sister? Unless, he was like the boyfriend of the sister, or, you know what I mean? Or he had love for the sister, just like, a little sister. But Even I had to call my friend over the phone. He had to put his clothes on, brush his teeth, knowing that he's about to come out the house, you know what I mean, to kill somebody. You know what I
Right.
mean? I don't think we can get away with that. You know what I mean? That's us Pop's thought, man.
All right. So on the basis of, I think a consensus that
But that'll be a good poll
sometimes
question.
murder. So I think we come to the agreement that taking a life is acceptable given the circumstance.
Only when it's the
What
correct or wrong.
did you say? What the Quran? The Quran said it was what mischief in regards to
Unless
mischief and
unless taking a life is in manslaughter purpose or reason
right.
and or mischief making or causing some sort of mischief.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now,
All
you
right,
know
and I'm gonna just go with the assumption that mischief has to be like at a certain tier on the
right.
spectrum of
There's levels of mischief.
mischievous
Right.
activities. Yeah, interesting. I think it was an interesting topic, pops.
Yeah. That was
Alright.
deep, man. That hit home. You know what I mean? 'Cause that
Alright.
really, I can understand, and so can yourself. We all, we can just put our shoes on, take our shoes off, and put their shoes on, and come up with our own, thought process about it.
Oh, where I've you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you know this. I've thrown blows for my siblings
Yes.
for people wanting to fight them. I'm like,
Right.
nah, you're not gonna fight them. You gonna fight me.
You gonna fight me, right?
So, and that's you know what I'm saying. That's off of that's you know what I'm saying. That's off of some petty squabble.
Right.
So something of this magnitude. Oh man, yeah, I'd probably be in the same situation there. To be honest.
Right.
Especially knowing what I know, like this dude only gets 6 years. If he gets, if the case is good, you know what I'm saying. If the case is a case against him, you know what I'm saying. He gets charged. He gets the worst end of the stick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying. The worst end of the stick is only 6 years.
So there it is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think the family is going to accept that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I said, man,
What was that show back in the day? They not back in the day, but like you know what I'm saying, they had a couple of years back. To Catch a Predator.
Oh yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
That show, that show showed me a lot about a lot. Yo, like I remember Chris Hansen saying like you know what I'm saying, for the behind scenes things that they would have so many dudes answering the essentially biting the bait, right? That you know what I'm saying, after they would make one arrest, they would have to like get the dude out of there real quick and get the scene set up for the next guy, because he was coming in less than 15 minutes after the first guy gets arrested.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, so socially, you know what I'm saying, at least we can definitely say socially, like the fact that show that those cases alone, that charge alone of being accused of being someone that is a child pedophile or molestation, or you're sexually active with children, we socially agree. We can all socially agree it's wrong.
Indeed.
It's one of the it's a big wrong, because there's an innocence involved.
Is the machine too loud?
Nah, it's fine. There's an innocence involved.
Right.
And yeah, that act of crime, it deserves its place. as one of the most heinous crimes you can, I think it's right up there with, you know what I'm saying, it's not as bad as serial killing, because, you know what I'm saying, that's multiple, but like, yo, it's up there. It's one of the, you know what I'm saying?
No, it's yeah, absolutely. It's definitely, you know what I mean, that's one thing that you really don't want to, you know, see where another person's reaction will take them.
Right. So speaking on, I'm thinking about it, like, yo, like, this is one of those charges, right, where it's just so heinous that if I was to witness that kind of act being done, or any act on that level, right? So, like, you know what I'm saying, you walk in on a guy eating somebody's foot.
Oh, what?
I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that
right.
actions of the person who gets to view a heinous crime of this extent should be penalized for their action, you know what I'm saying, their reaction to it. Because the crime is so heinous. Whatever I do in response to what you've done, I think it's there should be a lot of leniency towards that. Yes, sir. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Son.
Word. You good?
In the
I can hear you.
process of Son Trey coming or getting back online again, yo, this is a real hot topic, man. You know, to me, this is the point.
Pops, I can hear. Pops, hear you. You're good. You're good. I don't know what happened. You cut out. Let me go ahead and let's do this. I'll remove you off the stream and put you back in. Just give us a couple seconds. I think we had a little bit of technical issue. He'll be back in a second, but let me I'm gonna continue the conversation. But I think not even certain crimes. Let's say someone commits a crime. So someone's reaction to that crime committed, depending on what their action is, there has to be a level of leniency towards the person witnessing the crime and their reaction to it. That's not to say if I steal a candy bar, you're justified on killing me. No. But if I steal a candy bar, hey Pops, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
The live, I think it was on your end. We've been straight. But I was just saying, I think my take on it is, it doesn't really matter what crime it is. Right? Whether it's a petty crime or a heinous crime like the one we're speaking of, if you commit a crime and someone observes you commit that crime, depending on what action they do take, there should be leniency towards the person that has a reaction to your crime. So I was giving an example while you were off for a bit. I steal a candy bar. Mm-hmm. You're not justified in killing me for a candy bar. No. I stole a candy bar, fine. But don't kill. You can't. Yeah. You kill somebody over a candy bar. That's more heinous than the crime that was committed. However, I steal a candy bar. You tackle me, as I try to run away. So I don't get away.
Right.
I can't be like, yo, he should be charged with assault and battery.
Right.
Nah, man. You shouldn't have been stealing. You know what I'm saying? True. Like, you shouldn't have been. And I guess that's from a perspective of you know what I'm saying, like, of a person witnessing it. I don't see how. I don't know. I'm not too informed on how the law looks at it, in the sense of, you know what I'm saying, one crime is committed, and in reaction to that crime, another crime is committed.
Right.
And how the law views that. But in this case, if the situation is what it is, like, if let's say the case of the father was molesting the daughter, they witnessed it in the act or whatever, and they're, you know what I'm saying, they're just walking in, you know what I'm saying, some of that,
right.
that they kill them because of that. I think there should be leniency in their favor.
Right. No, I agree.
Because you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy to witness something of that happening to them.
Right.
Them witnessing, you know what I'm saying, like their sister being molested. That's awful.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, how you feel about it, Pops?
But it's it's a very touchy subject, man, and a lot of our thoughts are based off of how we would feel emotionally. You know what I mean? Now, logically, and using logic uh, mixed in with being civil. You know what I mean? And having those two things now take over or be in an exchange of the emotional side is what this society is basically saying what we live in today. You know what I mean? Whether it's receiving due justice or not, it's having that what is called order, so to speak, and not just taking off on an individual. Like everybody has their day in court. You know what I mean? Everybody is, proven, innocent until guilty. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, how do we
But
know?
no, I mean, that's the law. That's the law. But there's some things that when I think we were talking about this a while the difference between men and women in the face of the law. There's some charges that you can be charged with where even though the law says you're guilty, you're innocent until proven guilty, there's some charges that people see it as you're guilty until you're accused of being innocent.
Right.
My question is that a fair look on some cases?
Is it fair?
Is that a fair stance to say? Yeah, is it fair?
I mean,
in a situation, yeah.
I mean, for the sake of being a civil society, and I wouldn't even say being civil so much, but whenever you create laws or rules of living, and you kind of make up your own, to me, you're going off course in which the high power has made, it, and he defines that in his words, right? So if we go outside of those words that he presented to and gave to our messengers, then we're not doing the due justice in which Allah intended for that crime or act to have matched. So it's that's why I say I can only go by what the words of the Quran says and basically my common sense of it and trying to make sense of it. And there is no justification in life unless you're being attacked. You know what I mean? I truly feel, if you are being attacked or if you see somebody else being attacked and it could possibly lose their life, it's our godly duty to defend that life. And if I lose my life in the defense of yours, then my death has been, in the eyes of God, that I think has been looked at as an honorable death. And that sits well in the eyes of God, in the eyes of the high power, because you sacrificed your life to save somebody else. You know what I mean?
All right. What was that saying that you said earlier about the saving one person is like saving 1 million people? You want to go ahead and expand on that?
I think that was in the Quran, right? That I read.
If I'm not mistaken. I know you said it earlier. I don't know if you. I don't know if you.
Yeah, he says, and whoever saves a life, it is as though he had saved the lives of all men. And certainly our messengers came to them with clear arguments, but even after that, many of them commit excesses in the land. So here it is where he says, where Allah says, and whoever saves a life, it is as though he has saved the lives of all men. So even if I don't save your life, but my intentions is to protect you and save, and I lose my life in that process, or I lose my freedom, I get taken off to jail, I get bopped in the head, any
Right.
type of physical harm, to me, Allah is looking at you now as somebody who did something great. You know, I even, when George Floyd's hearing was taking place, I tuned in to a lot of it. And when the young brother who got up there on the witness stand and who had all this training, right? Martial arts, boxing,
Right.
right? He was a fighter, very skilled, very lethal, right? They asked him, you know, why didn't you, help George Floyd? And you know what he said?
What do you say?
Because I was feeling fear. I had fear in me.
Come on, man.
So fear.
You said what? The boxer, the fighter.
Skilled, lethal fighter who fights for money. He is training to fight for money. If you're going into UFC or the boxing, regardless if this the sport that you like watching, just know that these men learn to fight for money, which means that they are deliberately knowing that they are going to hurt, possibly kill somebody by throwing this fist or throwing this kick, right? So that makes them lethal weapons,
right?
Because of what they know and what they can do with their hands and their feet, right? So knowing that, I study martial arts, you studied martial arts in your past, but you're supposed to take the humble approach, the least resistant approach, because you know that you have the capability of hurting somebody if you really put your fourth effort to do so, right? More skillful wise than the other individual that, So you look at them and say, you know what, I really could kick your ass, but I'm going to give you this, you know what I mean? I'm going to give you this pass, okay? Get away from me. I'm walking away from you. So now I'm taking the least resistance approach, right? Because I know I can whip this dude's butt, all right? But I won't do it because I might kill him. Because you never know, any punch.
But it sounds like what you're saying though. Also, it comes with a responsibility. So if you see something, you're a qualified person to do something. So like, let's say I see right. So let's say I see somebody pass out outside, right, and they need CPR. I'm CPR certified. I'm kind of obligated and responsible because I am CPR certified to give that person the opportunity to be rescued. Now, if I if I see that happen and I'm CPR certified and I don't do nothing,
right?
Yo, now I'm up for questioning. Like, yo, exactly.
Right. So now back to the gentleman who witnessed George Floyd's murder. He had the skill, but he didn't have the heart.
No heart.
All skill, but you wouldn't apply it to save a life, but you will apply it to hurt and possibly kill that other person. But for right now, let's just say you get paid to hurt men in the ring, and you're looking, and you know that you're getting paid for it, and getting paid a lot of money. You know what I mean? It's not like you're going to work for a 9 to 5 and you got to wait 2 weeks to get your paycheck. You know what I mean? This profession, you get paid to knock somebody out within the first round, within minutes. You know what I mean? And win a competitive good one. You know what I'm saying? But you're getting paid to hurt somebody. So if I was this young man, I would not, me right now, if I walked in the ring or walked in somewhere or saw on TV that this young brother is fighting right now, to me, he doesn't have the right to go into the ring to hurt another man for money when he didn't even use his skills to save another man. That does you can't no. I don't know where that's a real like that's a big no man. I can't see it.
No, exactly. That's like, yo, I only perform CPR when I'm on the clock, when I'm getting paid to do it. But if I see somebody, you know what I'm saying, I'm in my life, my daily life, and I see someone is in requirement of CPR, I don't even move to act on my qualifications, my certification. Yo, like, you shouldn't have it.
Right.
Shouldn't have it. The money doesn't come first. It's the service.
Right.
You should be able, you know what I'm saying? If you have the skill to service something, you should be able to do it for free in the same way that you're doing it for money.
So the money factor, you know what I mean? We some of us put vices in front of God, in front of doing the right thing, because it's in the name of God that I'm doing the right thing. So my intentions is always going to be in the good. You know what I mean? So I don't have to worry. My conscience will be at ease because I don't have to worry about the act I'm about to do. I know the act is only put upon me because it's the right thing to do. So I don't have to worry about the consequences with the laws of man when I know in my heart that the laws of God will find me justified and I would be paid a reward. Not that I'm looking for it, but just know that you're going to be okay if you lose your life. It's okay if you lose your freedom. You know what I mean? Going back to the Kyrie situation, Kyrie Irving, he's doing something which could have cost him his whole career. But he said, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, this is more important to me. My life is more important to me than some freaking game that is only played.
So yeah, I think Go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
No, I said the only thing we you know that's difference is that, you know what I mean, this is my life that I'm protecting. You know what I mean? Or I know that my intention is to protect my life. You understand? But you can't force somebody, you know what I mean, to make a choice like that and then not be justified in righteousness. Nah, you can't make me do something because I'm going to lose a job. You know what I mean? I had to decline a game for the USA basketball team, 3-on-3. You know what I mean? And it hurt me. But they wanted me to be jabbed. And no, I'm sorry. I appreciate the opportunity. You know what I mean? But that game, it only lasts an hour at least. My life is forever, I hope. You know what I mean? So, you can't apply certain things whenever you have fear. Nah, man, that brother was obligated, morally, spiritually, physically, skillfully obligated to do whatever it took because he saw how they was how George Floyd's life was taken. He probably won't even raise his fist to another man anymore. If he does, he's not a good man. And nothing good will happen.
This is kind of like that story is kind of like a like an opposite on the spectrum of what the story from earlier. In the sense that they took matters into their own hands to the utmost to find justice. And this man declined he was in an environment where justice needed to be served, and he declined to act.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's interesting how the two parallels work. What I was
Right.
thinking was, so essentially, I think we both agree on when the circumstances come to the situation of whose authority takes over when it comes to regards of God's law, the laws of the land, laws of the people, essentially, and the government that's in place.
Right.
I think we both can agree on God's law over man's law. So I'm saying,
Right.
like you said, if it would have came to, he would have hit the officer and did some time or whatever, I think people would have watched that and been like, word.
Yeah.
Like, like, all right, yeah, you got it.
Petition.
Yeah, exactly. They would have fought for you, man.
Right.
But the fact that you didn't do anything,
Just
like that light, exactly. So I think it's super interesting the results of being faced with man's law and God's law and what happens after. Because we see with these three gentlemen that they're gonna have to face man's law. But I think we both agree that in the sight of God, they're totally, what I'm saying, justified. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to condemn them to damnation, anything like that. But now we see that, all right, so they got past God's law, and now they have to see man's law. And I think it'll be interesting to see what happens exactly. For like let's say, instance, they don't get any time. Like, see, but if they do get time, we see people going on their own accord, like, if like we're ready to fight for you.
Right.
So I think it's interesting.
Yeah, it is, man. It's a touchy subject, but I guess what was the number? 290,000, 250,000 so far.
Yes, and counting.
Far?
Yeah, I mean the when did this case post? Give me 1 second. The news report came out the 28th of January, so that was not even 3 days ago. So
recently, man. Yeah.
That's crazy. 250,000 petitions already signed in less than a week. 5 days.
For them not to be charged.
Exactly.
Right. That's deep.
Mm-hmm. The news report was released on the 28th of January. So I think that's pretty interesting.
Wow. Yo, man, we don't want to forget to hit like and share or subscribe option.
Yeah. Definitely remind them to hit the like, share, and subscribe button if you guys enjoy our feed. Love what we're talking about. Please leave a comment. We'll definitely, if you leave a comment, we'll definitely get it posted so your point of view can also be seen. We want to make this as open, I think, as possible as a forum, because I think we both believe that the more ideas, you know what I'm saying, you can disagree with us, we don't care. But just to have that platform to be able to disagree, I think we'll be able to do a lot. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, please leave a comment. If you like our videos, please give us a like and subscribe. If you subscribe, then you'll be able to, because I think we'll be doing lives for the most part. So if you subscribe, that will be the best way to be notified when we're going to be going on live, because it will send you a notification letting you know that, hey, we'll be going live. All right. And of course, we'll be sending out messages on our social media as well to let people know when we'll be going on.
Right.
I'll put it down here real quick. Again, also we have the donation tab, right? So if you go through to if you click the description box on our you'll be able to make a direct donation to TwoTreys Podcast, and we'd appreciate it. All right, Pops, I think you wanna cap the show off there for today.
Yeah, man, that's good. I have some customers I have to serve, but
I guess perfect timing then.
Yeah, that's cool. Can we do a poll on the topic? just to see where.
Yeah. I mean, we can. So what I can do, not necessarily like a poll, but it'll be kind of like that. So people can just like leave a comment, say what they feel to answer the question. So the question is, I'll go ahead and restate it.
Sure.
The question is, when is taking life acceptable? So if you want to go ahead and leave a comment, on how you guys feel about it, please do. Maybe stream in the future, maybe the next time we go live, we can actually review what people say,
Absolutely.
how they feel about it, and yeah.
Cool. Well, episode 2, son.
Yeah, episode 2 is success, another success. Go ahead and wrap this up. So yeah, you thanks for tuning in, guys, on TwoTreys Podcast. Again, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll see you next time. All right,
Absolutely.
Pops.
Love you,
Great
son.
talking to you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Till next time. Alaikum salam.